First of all, I'm Steve Green. I'm from Virginia, the Hampton Roads, Virginia Beach, Norfolk area. And
you got a fan.
That's right. And I had analysis paralysis for a long time. I thought the more I needed to study to get my deals done and things like that, it was like, okay, I just felt like I just never knew enough. And it was like, okay, it's time to get off this thing. I have to change the paradigm. So I end up starting to listen to Sean's podcast. I think I started at like maybe 60-something, because analysis paralysis, you just eating all the information and education up, and with a master's degree, I'm like, okay, more education. Like, hold on, you got to stop and take some action. And so my wife said, okay, this is the last event you're going to until you bring a check in here. I'm like,
she laid down the law.
Yeah. So that day, during the Dallas event last year, I never forget, I was talking to Sean, and I said, Sean, what am I doing wrong? And Sean's first question was, Steve, are you tithing? I said, yeah, I do it off and on. He said, consistently. I said, no. He said, do it. I don't care if you haven't done a deal yet. Whatever you do, I'm a full-time master barber too. My wife and I have a salon and barbershop. And from that point on, I started doing it, and doors started opening. I had a bird dog to come to me and say, Steve, can you show me the business? I'm like, just hold tight. I'm not, I'm like, hold on, I haven't got my first check. I'm going to show you the business. But I was like, but I looked at all the education, all the podcasts, just studying and listening and just talking to everybody. So long and short, he went out, he said, I think I found something. I said, you did? He said, what? I said, so show it to me. So he showed it to me. Seller called up. They wanted $35,000 for the house. I said, 35? Well, we had an ARV of like 111. And I said, 35? And he said, yeah, he wants 35. So I gave him, I said, okay, don't say anything. And he said, don't say nothing. I said, yeah, don't say anything. He said, okay. So he said, well, I want you to call him, because I'm nervous about this negotiation stuff. So I called him. I said, well, how much you're asking? So he said, I said, one of the guys that I had talked to you, he said, yeah, Kenya. He said, 35. I said, 35? He said, okay, 28. I said, 28? He said, okay, 25.
It works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Does that not work or what?
Okay, all right. So long and short, I met him, and I wrote him an upper offer for $16,500. So he said, my wife won't let me accept that. Could we do 17.5? I said, well, let me take it back to the committee. So I said, I'll call you back in a couple of hours. So I said, we'll do 17.5. So I called up another friend of mine. She's a broker. I said, I don't have a buyer's list right now. Can we put this on the MLS for a flat listing fee? She said, sure. Within 3 days, I put it out there for 25. I had a bite for 20,500. I was like, I'll take it. So long and short, $3,000, my first deal, that closed the 3rd of January. I have 2 more closing next week, and it's just a blessing. Yep. Woo! And lastly, I just want to say, I'm like Sean, God is working in my life. I take no credit. He's just working through me. So I would not be here right now if it wasn't for me putting him first.
Boom.